Every week, the Payne family cuts straight to the real financial story.
The one question, Bob, everyone's asking is, are we in an artificial intelligence bubble? You've been through boom and bust. What do you think?
No hype, no myths. Just what actually matters to your money.
Does feel very similar to what we experienced in the 90s. Where are we, though? Are we in 1995, 1997, 1999?
Listen to the Pain Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Excuse me! Taxi!
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
And now let's go to former first I hate the word former.
I know.
Former first deputy mayor Randy Mastro. Well, whose fault is it?
And Randy, of course, we're talking about the comments from Mondani that he came out today.
Wow. Well, it's a pleasure to be with you, John and Rita. This is right out of the socialist playbook. Tell a whopper, repeat it over and over again, and hope people will fall for it. But Eric Adams put it best when he tweeted today after Mayor Mondani's press conference, quote, "Facts have a way of getting in the way when slogans replace math and blame replaces leadership," end quote. And you had to listen well into the monologue as Mayor Mondani read from a teleprompter. But in the middle of his oration, trying to, blame Eric Adams for everything, he stuck in, quote, "Time to tax the richest New Yorkers," end quote. That's what this game is all about for Mayor Mondani. He wants to pressure Albany to allow him to raise taxes on wealthy New Yorkers and on New York businesses. It came out later in the day that already the Working Families Party, which endorsed Mayor Mondani in his election bid, that they're planning a rally next month of 10,000 people in Albany to push for, quote, "tax the rich," end quote, to close the city's budget gap. Well,
so it's part of the game.
It is a political ploy. And John and Rita, in every budget, every city budget, every new mayor from a past administration, there are out-year budget gaps to close. But all of this was disclosed. People have different ways of calculating it. I mean, Mayor Adams was before the Financial Control Board in December after his November budget. Mayor Mondani's new first deputy mayor was present at that session, and all of these numbers were discussed there. Yet the city continued throughout Mayor Adams' tenure to improve its credit ratings with the bond agencies. We never had rating agency credit ratings like we did in the progression over the Adams years. And left out of the equation is that in our budget, we have $8 billion in reserves, $2 billion of it in a rainy day fund. And all of these budgets were passed by the city council. It wasn't just Mayor Adams who thought that the latest budget was the best budget ever. The city council speaker, Adrian Adams, an ally of Mayor Mondani, called it a budget that was near perfect. So we're seeing politics, used, messaging used, but we're not talking about facts. We're not talking about reality. The city is not in any kind of financial crisis. It's $115 billion city budget. We're talking about closing, by all accounts, including the new city controller, about a $2 billion gap in this fiscal year. That's less than 2% of the total city budget. And when Mayor Adams came into office, he inherited a $4 billion plus budget gap from Mayor de Blasio. So I don't know whether this is a reflection of inexperience or whether this is just political gamesmanship. But the messaging that the mayor did today, doesn't, pass muster. And even the City Hall press corps, was questioning it. You had him going after who he perceived of as his political enemies, Eric Adams and Andrew Cuomo. Blaming Eric Adams for budget issues, blaming Andrew Cuomo and Albany.
What does Andrew Cuomo have to do with this?
Thank you, John. Andrew Cuomo hasn't been governor for 5 years. Okay. Meanwhile, Zoran Mamdani was in the state legislature as the state legislature was doing these things he was saying were so terrible to New York City. Even the jaded City Hall press corps, the tweets they put out today, Jeff Colton, formerly of Politico, now at City and State, blaming Adams and Cuomo, quote, instantly puts his speech in a political frame, end quote. You had Joe Anuto from Politico saying that, his numbers don't seem super accurate. And he's not taking into account that typically the city budgets conservatively about potential revenues and typically comes up billions of dollars up. And what he's not taking into account, Mayor Mamdani, in putting out this kind of scare tactic to the public, what he's not taking into account
is the public is scared they're going to leave.
Right, exactly.
Well, that's why he included in his speech, I spoke to one millionaire who told me he wouldn't leave. I mean, this was political theater, not reality, and it's unfortunate. There are tough issues to be dealt with. It's what mayors have to deal with all the time. And every year they have to balance the budget and they have to make adjustments to balance the budget. But let's be straight with people.
Randy, he's in a period right now where people are saying, okay, give him a chance for a month, 2 months, 3 months. But, it's up to him,
I know, but how much of this is, a typical political move?
Yeah.
I think New Yorkers expect more of their mayors, but how often have you seen, somebody just get elected and try and blame all their problems on, whoever they succeeded? It just doesn't hold water. A very knowledgeable person about the city budget, the former city controller, Scott Stringer, put out a tweet today, quote, message to the mayor, 2025 campaign is over. Don't cherry pick, blame, and leave out your friends like Brad Lander. Silent. Council allies voted for all 3 budgets. Focus on your budget presentation. Time to govern. Okay, I couldn't have said it better myself.
Bravo,
Randy Mastro. Please stay on top of it, and we call upon you to come and tell all New Yorkers the truth. And thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you, Randy.
Thank you, John and Rita.
Thank you.
Every week, the Payne family cuts straight to the real financial story.
The one question, Bob, everyone's asking is, are we in an artificial intelligence bubble? You've been through boom and bust. What do you think?
No hype, no myths. Just what actually matters to your money.
Does feel very similar to what we experienced in the 90s. Where are we, though? Are we in 1995, 1997, 1999?
Listen to the Pain Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.